Hey guys, it's Paul Jang, and we're gonna be talking about becoming a blogger. Is it passive? This is going through a series of passive income ideas from Shopify. Shopify is basically a place where you could list items for sale, right, on a website. So they came up with this list. I'm doing a series from it, and I'll tell you what I think. I tried being a blogger there. The way that Shopify has done it is they rated three different parts: time, money, and passive income potential. And they rated it 1 out of 5. So the upfront time investment for a blogger would be 4 out of 5. It's a significant amount of time. Your upfront financial investment would be 1 out of 5, and your passive income potential is 3 out of 5. Right. So the idea with blogging, they started this line with it is a challenging venture. Um, and but it's is only becoming more successful as a passive income stream. Okay, so here are my thoughts. Blogging is not a passive endeavor unless you are hiring writers to write for you. And what I mean by that is, let me show you. I've looked into blogging like heavily. So for those that aren't familiar, this is a blog, right? You you write an article and you hope ultimately that Google will find your article or you call it indexing your article, and you would go ahead and click on it, and people will eventually click on some kind of link or resource and get ad revenue from it. Or in this case, like with Shopify, they want you to register now for a free webinar. So they're hoping that a certain percentage of people will either click on a little link for another article, potential. If you ever see ads, so it looks like this one isn't going for ad revenue, but for sure Shopify is trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you their free trial or their webinar so you could you know start a business of some sort with Shopify, right? So it's 100% a way to build up traffic. So I bought a course. I bought multiple courses, but the most impressionable one is one called Income School. They were I think they were smaller on YouTube a while ago. They basically say Project 24 is basically replacing your income from a job within 24 months. So that's basically 2 years. I did this. It's the full blogging system, and their model is you putting good content and ultimately get monetized through Google AdSense. But AdSense doesn't pay as much, so they actually recommend that you either skip Google Ads entirely or go into things like AdThrive or um, I think there's another one that I can't remember. I know for sure AdThrive is one of them. So basically, you get into their forums and et cetera, et cetera. It looks like they have this YouTube portion, but here's my opinion of it. This is not realistic. It is a huge upfront time investment. I'd say there's not money involved in the beginning. There's not a huge financial commitment because really all you have to pay for is a WordPress site, some hosting, and then you're good to go. So for a couple $100, you'll have a blog and you'll be able to generate traffic. The hard thing here is creating a blog that and content that people will love and Google will trust you for. So here's how I this is my list of videos that I have in the future. Let's go to become a blogger. So I created a basically scoring chart. And I really did it for myself in a part to figure out is I'm in the land investing business, and to kind of figure out like, oh, how does land investing compare to some of the other business models that I've tried or been a part of or I've considered, and just kind of at the end putting a score from 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, kind of coming to some kind of percentage and seeing how it relates. Now, like, I think another variation point is like, there's synchronicities. There's ways that like things kind of work together. Like if you have a 9 to 5 job, you want something, your time commitment is pretty high with a 9 to 5 job, so you want to find something that doesn't require much time. Like land investing doesn't require much time, right? I was doing the blogging, and so I'll say here's the thing with blogging. Blogging, there's like significant money potential. It's as much or if not greater than like land investing. Like if you could actually get it to a point where you are one of the recognizable blogs out there, there's a significant amount of money. But the speed to get that money, man, is I put here two. It really should be one. Like it is like massively difficult. I'm gonna put here one. Like it is the speed to actually get like actually paid. It's really difficult. That's the maybe if you're in a smaller niche that uh people haven't targeted before, um like cactus plants. Like something very very niche that is like very specific. Like it's pretty difficult. So your time investment, I put here a three. I think it's a bit better than a 9 to 5, but writing articles is pretty difficult. It's you're gonna have to um, sit down, and generally they're gonna be a range of articles from I'd say 1,200 to 1,500 words, all the way up to 25 3,000 words per article. And ideally, you want to have articles like every day. So I'm doing papers. I recently just took a test. It's like 800 words. 800 words is about 2 pages double spaced, 2 to 3 pages double spaced. Um, that means you have to write about 3 pages ish on average per day for you to get enough articles to get the kind of traction that Google will see. And how long does it take to write? I would say for most people, it takes an hour to write a page. There's people that if you go really fast, you know, maybe 2 pages you'll get done in an hour. But man, you're resourcing things, you're thinking about things, you're putting it down. It's just there's a very specific type of person that's able to write like that. Now, there's your money investment by doing this is pretty cheap. It's like you don't really spend money after you get your hosting and your site. You're putting out content. The only thing is this time commitment is pretty rough, right? Like it's pretty rough. Like there's ways to kind of get around this, but you can pay like $50 to $150 per article to get this going. But is that what you want? You also have to quality check that. You have to do check for grammar. You have to check did they plagiarize. There's all these things that you have to check up on if you outsource your writing, which is doable. But you could kind of see how I feel about blogging. Like, how difficult is the work? It's pretty difficult. Like, I think it's more difficult than a 9 to 5 job. And I'm a pretty fast typer. I'm a pretty fast worker. Like, and I feel like we'll just say it like this: writing papers, writing articles day after day after day after day is not an easy work. Like it's fun maybe for one or two or three, maybe a couple times, but getting that kind of consistently is pretty difficult. So is it scalable? Is there an ability to get passive or compounding effect? Like is this doable? Like yes, it is 100%. Like if you're able to get through that block of just writing content, just putting good stuff out there, seeing if Google will track if you have the system for your blog right, and it's like speedy enough, the system's there, like all these things are right, like um you could get to the point where you have traffic, and your articles will show up over and over again, and you can leverage it into AdSense, some variation of advertisement, or selling your own products, right, kind of like Shopify selling their software. For I see a lot of bloggers like doing courses of some sort or little product info stuff, right, like ebooks, like whatever it is. It's definitely um, scalable if you get to that point. And but I think that's like the big if, like actually getting there. It's really difficult. It takes a lot of commitment, and so like how's the competition? It's really competitive. Like let me just show you. Um, let's just talk about blogging in general. Is blogging competitive? Now, each of these, whenever Google, you know, you ever do a search, it like lists out different variations. So let's try this. Is it hard to become a blogger? Okay, you got MH themes. You have Little Answers, Quora, Helen in between, Code, and WP. The Minimalist, the Blog Starter, Gathering Trees. Let me tell you, these are Neil Patel. Neil Patel is like a really big like blogger marketer, and he's like number 8 or 9, right? Like there are pages upon pages, you know. There's pages and pages. And let me tell you, unless you take the first 3 of those listings, like you are not going to get traffic. I'm sorry, College Vine, NEA, the ECB, Europa, droneblog.com. You're not going to be able to it's going to be difficult. We'll just say it like that. Um so So that's how I personally feel about blogging. It's pretty competitive, location specific. I'd give it a 10. Like you could literally do it from anywhere. There are people that only focus on creating blogs, and they have what they basically do is they treat it like a business. They have it's not a little side hustle blogging. Like I mean, there's people that treat it like that and kind of slowly work their way up, but the ones that are big, they have writing teams behind them, they have an editing team behind them, and they're pushing out content. They're also looking at backlinks to get like authority, and they're also like making sure everything is SEO ready, image ready, like all these other things. And they have a team, and so like if you set it up, it's good. It's this business, I give it a 10 in terms of location specific, because if you set it up right. I know a guy in Thailand who he doesn't use WordPress. He creates articles like um, from the get-go, and like without any, just like a blank with HTML, has a team like write it up, and he's doing it from Thailand, and he has like these Chiang Mai conferences for bloggers to come in and converse and think about it. Like it's serious business. Like it's difficult. So here's how it ranks. It's better if you have nothing. It's like, yes, try getting into blogging. Like it's better than just a job. There's a synchronicity here a little bit, right? For someone that doesn't have much money or much that has a little bit more time, they're able to work. Let's say you were able to you're like a younger person and you're just able to pump out content like after work or something. Sure, there's potential here. So that's how I think about blogging. Um, I I think there's other stuff out there than blogging. I personally think YouTube is better. So if you like if you kind of like this content idea, if you get into YouTube, there's YouTubers that don't put their face. So if you're like a little bit shy, it's okay. But like YouTube, I think is much more friendly to newcomers than it is than blogging. With blogging, it's kind of like the more authority that you have, um, the more authority you have, the more Um, like coding W is like big. The more authority you have, the more they want to place you in the top. So it's like the people that have been around longer, they just get an extra boost than the new guy. So it takes a significant amount of time to like a significant amount of work and a significant amount of time to make the kind of dent to generate any kind of money. But like with YouTube, it's difficult, but I'd say it's much easier compared to blogging. And that's me saying and trying to do both. And like right now, it's like I got like 250 subscribers, roughly, right? It's been slow pickings, but it is. I get. I've gotten much more traffic, and I've worked much harder on the blogging stuff than I did the YouTube stuff. Like I'll just be frank. So um, I'm just saying, steer. I would steer away from blogging if I could, but to each his own. If you want this like Excel sheet, I'll put up some variation of it in the description below. And if you are interested in land investing, I think it works well with if you have a 9 to 5 job. Then check that out in the description below as well. It is how my wife and I were able to quit our jobs. Uh, That's it. Take care. Have a good one.